So this is part 3 of I'm 6'3" Gemini, right? But this is part 3 of a suspected drunk driver at Taco Bell. He was passed out in his car, and they're searching him right now. This is the first time they even asked him for his driver's license. They've already given him the test and everything. Usually that's the first thing they do. This video is not working for you, man. He said a couple times that I'm recording, you know, but this video could definitely be used as evidence against him, I'm sure. But I see these guys are wearing body cameras. And I do appreciate that they've been cool with me. They're buckling him in and everything. That's good. So, gentlemen.
You were an awesome spectator.
Oh, that's the first time I've ever heard that. I try and be respectful.
Yeah, no,
You know,
do you have any questions that we can answer for you?
You do. I do.
Well,
I did have one quick question.
Yeah.
And you know, you probably won't even answer it. But the thing is that I just had one question about the jurisdiction, because we're on private property.
So,
I'm not sure that it's illegal to even be drunk driving on private property.
So Texas state law actually does cover that. When it comes to private property and DWI, it's private property accessible to the public. So parking lots like this where anyone can come
Accessible
and
to
go
the
is
public.
accessible to the public.
Right.
But let's say you own a 10-acre ranch and it's completely gated in and only you and your family and whoever you choose is allowed to come in and go, and it's not general public can come in. You can drink and drive on that all you want because
Okay.
it's not accessible to the public.
Okay. And now, I mean, that was awesome. Officer Ferreira, 7536.
Yep.
I'm David, by the way.
Nice to meet
But
you, David.
I mean, I'll go one step further since, well, you really came up with an answer. I didn't think there was going to be one there. But this might be too far, but if it's okay, let me know.
Okay.
You know. Now, the Constitution, it the first 3 words are "we the people,"
Okay.
right? Not "we the persons."
Mm-hmm.
And the Fifth Amendment does give you the authority to seize persons, right? No, no warrant shall issue except upon probable cause, particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons to be seized.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say you can seize one of the people.
Okay.
It says you can seize a person.
So that is something that can be argued in court.
Oh, see,
Okay.
no, it's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
It's all
so-
right. I'm
so
not gonna
Texas
like take you to
Penal
court or anything. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that.
So Texas Penal Code.
Do you have any thoughts on the difference between a person and one of the people? Is what I'm
As
saying.
far as I'm concerned, it's all one and the same.
So you consider yourself one of the people?
I consider myself a person and the people.
So you
Okay,
think
we're
they can
all
be the same
people.
thing?
Okay.
Well, wait, just one thing.
Okay.
You're a public servant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you serve the public?
Yes.
So you think you can be a servant to the public and be the public at the same time?
Yes.
You do. So you're the servant and the master at the same
public
time.
is the master. So when I'm working, I'm helping the public. But when I'm in my private life,
Oh, so when you're off, you say you're one of the people.
when I'm off, I'm one of the people. When I'm working,
You're a person.
I have to protect the people. I have to do what state law
Protect
says I
the
need
people,
to do.
but not
Okay.
the persons, right? Doesn't your oath say with no respect
You're
to
getting
persons?
into semantics that
I mean, I said it
it's-
might be too far for you.
yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
semantics that I don't really deal with or concern myself with.
Well, I mean, it is a contract, right?
So,
The Constitution?
like a social contract?
No, it's a contract between the people and the government. Isn't that right? I mean, you say semantics, but like, you know, one person might say your shirt's blue, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, if we really get down to it, it might be navy blue.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if we write a contract and we say, well, you're selling me a navy blue shirt, and then you sell me a blue shirt, it's not semantics, is it? It's a breach of a contract.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the contract says that you can seize persons and you just seized one of the people,
Mm-hmm.
you're telling me that's semantics?
persons and people, you're going into semantics there over what is what.
Well,
so, like
how about
said,
this?
We enforce the law.
One more thing, and I don't expect an answer, but you say semantics. In your private life, try and reconcile this. Okay, the people were given the right to elect representatives in Article 1, Section 1 of the Constitution. The House of Representatives will be chosen by the people. And yet the 24th and the 26th Amendment gave the right to vote to citizens. So if your claim in citizens are defined in the 14th Amendment as any person, not one of the people, any person born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the authority thereof. So there's two requirements. But now, so if we needed the 24th and the 26th Amendment in order to give the right to vote to citizens, well, if citizens are the same as the people already had the right to vote. So why would we need to give it to them again?
So that is something that you would have to bring up with Congress, because all that
No,
stuff was passed.
Congress is the executive branch.
Passed
My argument is not with Congress.
Okay, that
my argument is not with
Congress. All right.
My discussion is not with Congress. They're the legislative branch, and I have no dispute with anything they've written. It's you're the executive branch, and you are tasked with enforcing it, right? And what I'm saying is, no, with all due respect, I don't believe you've interpreted it correctly, and you've been very polite, and you've allowed me to even have this conversation with you. And I'm simply saying, in your time, you might want to think about this difference between the people and persons, and realize that you have no authority over the people. And right now, he's one of the people. Even though I don't agree with drunk driving at all, I hate it. Right? But there's no victim because he hasn't hurt anybody yet. You know what I'm saying? And so since there's no victim, then he's one of the people. If he was a person, like you're a person. I mean, the definition of a police officer it's in the definition that you're a person. You know, the only use of person in the Constitution is in reference to the government. Everybody in the government is a person. It specifically says so, right? They're not people.
I'll be honest, it's been a very long time since I've read the Constitution. A majority of our training is over First Amendment,
right?
Fourth
But
Amendment,
who
Eighth
has
Amendment.
the First Amendment right? The people. It doesn't say persons.
Well, like I said, you're going into details that is way beyond what I focus on.
Are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment?
I am.
The right of, this is the first time the word person was ever used. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects. The word there, T-H-E-I-R, that connotates ownership. Houses, papers, and effects are all things that can be bought and sold.
Yeah.
And the word person is right in that same sentence as those four. And it says there. So the people own their person. They're in it. If they're in it, it must be a shell of some sort. You can't be in a people. You can't own one of the people. You can't put the word people in the same category as houses, papers, and effects.
You all right there, Christopher?
You see? So if we substitute the word business for people, and I say that sentence again, the right of the people to be secure in their business, houses, papers, and effects. Now it makes sense. You see, that guy's not using the road for profit or personal gain. Therefore, the Commerce Clause doesn't cover you.
Well, I'm
it
not
doesn't
worried about
cover
the
you.
Commerce Clause.
I'm just saying your immunity, your qualified immunity, only exists if you have authority over someone in the first place, right?
Well,
like you can't walk up to me right now because I'm not committing a crime and tell me that I have to do something.
No, but I can
Right?
walk up to you and
So
do
you
a
have-
consensual contact and say,
Yes,
how are you
but
doing
you have
today?
no authority over me right now because there's no crime.
No.
Right?
No.
So
And I'm not too worried.
no. My point is that there is a clear distinction between when you have authority and when you don't have authority,
But
right? And the
as
word
you see our
people
authority
and
here,
person,
we
well,
have probable cause.
it's iffy because I don't think he's a person.
Okay.
He might be. He might work for the government for all I know, right? He might be an Uber driver for all I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying I don't have any reasonable, articulable suspicion to believe that he is that he's a person. He could be an immigrant.
Yeah.
You know?
I still need to knock out the record sheet.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
You know, see, anybody that immigrates to this country, right? They might be able to become a citizen, but they have to ask permission, right? From the government. And see, if you're born here, you don't have to ask permission. Right? Because you're born with those rights. But if the government can give you citizenship, they can take it away. So when you agree to be a citizen, when you apply and ask permission, can I please be a citizen, then you're agreeing to be a person. But the people that were born here, they didn't have to ask their government for a damn thing. They have it already. The government had to ask them permission in order to rule. Right? So the servant cannot be the master at the same time. The slaves didn't tell their master what to do, did they?
No.
No? And that's a good point too, because the 3/5 clause, the Constitution says all other persons shall be counted as 3/5. They're talking about how many representatives a state would get. Right? And for the purposes of deciding how many representatives, they counted slaves as 3/5. But this sentence says all other persons, which means they considered slaves whole entire persons. But they weren't the people. I mean, were slaves people? Come on, Officer Ferreira. Were slaves the people when the Constitution was written?
When it was written, no. But times have definitely changed.
But they were persons.
So
they were persons. And
you're good, man?
They were persons.
Yeah.
What was your name, officer? Sorry to interrupt.
8568, sir.
8568. This gentleman was very patient. I hope he looks into some of the things I said.
Well, you definitely gave me a lot to think about, David. Mind if I shake your hand again?
Yeah, you are one of the...
I got some paperwork I need to knock out.
You are one of the best officers I've heard, but you still have that gang patch. And that thin blue line, RICO charges. Okay? I mean, I'm bold, you know what I mean? I'm saying the truth, right? Because no bad cop can be a bad cop without the good cops protecting them and not speaking out. And I'm not saying you don't. Maybe you arrested a cop. Have you ever arrested a police officer?
I have.
You have. All right. All right. For DWI.
Okay.
Oh
because
my God.
Let me tell you the truth that a lot of people don't realize.
And they're a person,
Most cops,
so good.
More cops are upset and hate the bad cops more than the citizens do because it makes all of us look bad.
Well, if they have to follow the same rules as us, then it's fine.
They do.
You see, and I'm happy with that, you know.
Before, and I've written tickets to police officers before.
All right.
So.
All right. Well, thank you then. Thank you for your service. You're going to look good on YouTube, officer.